It's clear this judge is clueless. Hello, my fam. It is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your number one source for everything It Ends With Us saga. I've already made several videos prior to this talking about the judge's ruling from earlier today. You may have just seen the headline, all of Justin Baldoni's claims tossed in the garbage bin. But why? I want to understand that. So I've been reading the judge's ruling, and I fear it might be game over for him. The judge said he can only file a new second amended complaint with just 2 of his original 9 claims. A jury has not decided this. The judge has decided that Baldoni and Wayfarer cannot claim extortion, defamation. He already said, the judge decided that didn't happen. And Perez Hilton predicts there's a good possibility that Blake Lively may now withdraw her lawsuit and drop her claims against him. Because if she does this now, she leaves this all the winner. All of his claims dropped. The judge already declared her the winner with all but 2 claims. Given that, it might be risky to try and proceed if you're Team Baldoni Wayfarer. They might not even file a second amended complaint. And it's definitely risky for her to proceed with all of her claims against him. So if she walks away now, she is the clear-cut winner. Legally. In the eyes of the public, which is what matters most, I think the majority of people are still on Team Baldoni. Because the judge acknowledged in his ruling, yeah, she made threats. Yeah, she extorted him, but nothing was illegal. Let's continue reading this ridiculous ruling. Where we left off, the judge said all of her demands were totally legal and thumbs up. For example, she made her demands, they responded, they had options, they could have sued her, but they didn't sue her. So, the fact that a plaintiff decides it is more financially beneficial to acquiesce to a demand than sue does not mean the plaintiff lacks an adequate remedy in damages. Having made their decision, the Wayfarer parties cannot now seek to recover in damages for what they would have obtained had they not agreed and had Lively promoted some different version of the film more consistent with the Wayfarer party's artistic vision. Finally, the Wayfarer parties allege that Lively's threat to boycott forced Baldoni to accept marginalization from the premiere. Initially, the Wayfarer parties do not allege that Lively had an obligation to them to attend the premiere, much less to attend the premiere with Baldoni. However, even if Lively had such an obligation, her suggested modification is directly related to the conditions of her own performance. There is no threat extrinsic and unrelated to the production of the film. There is also no disproportionate exchange of value, as the separation of the parties at the premiere is not alleged to have had any financial implications. Lively, Sloan, and Reynolds also argue that the Wayfarer parties have not alleged damages from any of Lively's threats. For reasons largely stated above in the analysis of disproportionate value, this provides an alternative basis for dismissal of most aspects of the extortion claim. The Wayfarer parties have not alleged that Lively's editing or the eventual release of her cut of the film caused them actual monetary loss. Although the Wayfarer parties preferred Lively to take less of a role in the production of the film, they do not allege that it made less money due to her editing or her role resulted in costs to them. Accordingly, there are no factual allegations that could support an award of damages for the difference in actual value at the time of the transition between what the plaintiff gave and what he received. Accepting the allegations, Wayfarer gave up releasing its preferred version of the movie cut by Baldoni in favor of a version that Lively preferred. But there is no allegation that Baldoni's version of the movie was of greater value than Lively's. For that independent reason, the Wayfarer party's civil extortion claim related to the demands for creative control fails. Similarly, although the Wayfarer parties allege that conditions at the premiere were demeaning and humiliating, they do not allege any costs to Wayfarer. There are no allegations supporting that providing Lively a producer credit and PGA support resulted in a monetary loss to the Wayfarer parties. The injury the Wayfarer parties focus on regarding the PGA mark is essentially a moral injury, that they believed that Lively did not perform the duties of a producer and therefore did not inherit the PGA mark, but were forced to write a letter omitting the truth. Finally, there are no allegations supporting Reynolds or Sloane's liability. The Wayfarer parties argue that Sloane and Reynolds are liable in conspiracy because by actually spreading defamatory statements, Sloane and Reynolds played the role of the heavy in carrying out Lively's extortionate threats. However, the only instance in which Lively and Reynolds allegedly threatened to spread defamatory statements was in demanding that the Wayfarer parties make a harmful public statement. As stated above, the Wayfarer parties never provided such a statement, so no conspiracy related to the statement is actionable. In addition, if Sloane and Reynolds actually spread defamatory statements, they would be liable in defamation, not civil extortion. Finally, the Wayfarer party's allegations regarding the purported conspiracy to commit civil extortion are entirely conclusory. The Wayfarer party's claims for civil extortion must be dismissed. As I mentioned, there are many more claims the judge ruled on and said that they are done. So we're going to get to those, or I don't even know. I'm depressed. I don't know how many more videos of this I can stomach. I'm going to try to continue going through the judge's ruling, but it's just insane. Insane is the only word. It shows you. Even if you come with receipts, proof, timeline, you might not even get to a jury trial. I'm going to make at least one more video because there is more to get to. All right, I'm going to wrap this one up because I need to take a time out. I'm so sad. Thoughts on everything we've learned up until now? Let's discuss everything in the comments section.